Hello, Detroit Lions fans and NFL draft fans. This is Colin with the Detroit Lions podcast, coming to you here with what is going to be the start of a series of videos, short and sweet, 5 to 10 minutes per video, looking at maybe putting out a video or two a week for a total of 10 to 12 videos. Each one of these videos is going to look at maybe a single prospect, maybe 2 or 3 prospects in the same positional group, tailored towards the needs of the Lions and also specific areas in the draft in which they could pick these players. So we may as well start out at the top with Chris's favorite prospect, Kyle Hamilton. So Kyle Hamilton is a 6'4", 220-pound safety from Notre Dame. Now, Webster's dictionary defines unicorn as, I'm just joking, but that's essentially what he is. That's the term that's being thrown around everywhere. He's a unicorn. He's a generational talent. Being that big, with that kind of length and that speed and decision and being that rangy, it's truly unicorn-esque. Now, down at the Senior Bowl, we talked to a lot of NFL draft media members, and the name that kept coming up for us was Kyle Hamilton. They were always asking us, what are the Lions going to do? Is it going to be Hutch or Tibb? What are they going to do? And after we sort of talked about that, the name that kept coming up after that was watch out for Kyle Hamilton. Watch out for him. That could be a guy you would want to look at right there. Even as far as one very respected member of the draft media said that Kyle Hamilton was the single best prospect he has evaluated since 2014. Now, once I really got into it with the research and looking at some film and watching some games, I can definitely see where this comment came from. Now, to say he's one of the best prospects in the last decade, that's a pretty bold statement, but when you turn on the film and you start to look at stuff, I mean, you can't help but walk away saying he's definitely a generational talent at the safety position. Now, he's going to offer an immediate impact at all 3 levels of the defense. You know, on the back end with his coverage skills, if he's in the box, playing the run, and there's been times where he's in the slot or on the line coming for a blitz. You could tell when you turn on the film that he has outstanding football IQ and diagnosing skills. His instincts are off the charts, and you can tell he just trusts himself. He trusts his speed. He trusts the time that he's put in the film room. He knows what's going to happen, and he just takes off. And there's multiple times where he makes a play 2 yards into the backfield because it's that combination of football IQ and his physical talents that just come together and make him a very, very special player. Now, at the safety position, he can play 1 or 2 high looks. He excels in man coverage in the slot. He can play zone. He can play deep field in a 1-man. Multiple reps where he's in the box, covering in the slot, nickel blitzing. I mean, the guy just does it all. He's outstanding in coverage. He has great change of direction. His hips are very smooth and fluid. There's lots of reps with him in just man coverage in the slot, manning up either tight ends or quick little slot receivers. And that just shows his diversity in the passing game as a safety and how much of a problem he can be for these offenses in coverage. If you look at his film, and I mean, I've talked about how impressive his coverage is, but he may be more impressive in the run game. He's so long and strong and quick that he's almost impossible to block with a receiver, a running back, or a tight end. There's multiple plays where he sprints 10 to 12 yards from a too high look and is making tackles at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. When we talk about his length and his strength, he's able to get off these blocks pretty easily. He's also a very, very polished tackler. He can lay the lick. There's multiple clips out there of him just burying a shoulder into a receiver, but he also has great pursuit and he takes angles very well to make these tackles also. I've talked a lot about his positives, but there has to be some negatives with some players, so we'll get into that a little bit. We talked about his coverage in the slot a little bit in this man-to-man. He does struggle a little bit with the smaller, quicker receivers, and at times, either in pass or run game, he can be a little aggressive, whether it be in the screen game, play action, RPO, which we all know is a big part of the NFL right now. Now, as far as injuries, he was out for 6+ weeks towards the end of the year. He said that if it were to come down to it and Notre Dame would have made the college football playoff, he would have played in that game. He stated that he had a right knee injury, no structural damage, but it was a fat pad impingement. Now, things we want to watch for is for him at the combine here to see those explosion drills, to see if there's any drop off in athleticism, and just to see how he recovered from that injury. Of course, there's a lot of those Twitter accounts where it's doctors saying, this and that. There was some talk of, maybe a little knee sprain of a ligament, but he sort of put that to rest and said it was a right knee fat pad impingement, and he would have played in the college football playoff if that were the case. Let's get down into, there's about 3 plays that I isolated. So the one that everybody's seen, and if you haven't seen, go look it up. It's the interception against FSU. Now, he's on the far hash, and as we know in college, the hashes are a little bit further apart. So he's on the far hash in a too high look. The quarterback rolls out to the right. Immediately, as soon as he sees the quarterback roll out to the right, he darts. It's about a 30 to 35 yard sprint. Now, the receiver has beaten the corner on the close sideline. Kyle Hamilton sprints between 30 and 35 yards and makes an interception along the sideline. So he goes from the opposite side hash all the way to the sideline, makes the interception, breaks up probably a massive play if not were to be a touchdown. That's one of the big ones in the passing game. Now, a couple of the bigger ones in the run game, there's one where he was a true freshman. It's a 4th and 1 versus Navy. They're in a sort of a single high look. He's stacked right behind the linebackers. Running back goes in motion. As we know, they run, they have a pretty run-heavy offense. Running back goes in motion. He follows a little bit. He's coming from right to left. The quarterback takes off on a QB sort of edge sneak, bolts out to the right. He comes up and makes the tackle 2 yards in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage. 4th and 1, turnover on downs. This is a true freshman making that play. Like, there was no chance. It seemed like the quarterback had an angle. He could have probably gotten the first down, but it was the pursuit and the angle that Hamilton took that completely eliminated that. And then the third play, it's going to be a 1st and 10 versus Clemson. It's a too high look. He's 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's Travis Etienne in the backfield. They run an outside zone from shotgun. He immediately takes off, hits the A-gap, tackles him 2 yards in the backfield. I mean, just the way he read the play and shot down and made that tackle, it was a thing of beauty. So that's about all I have for Kyle Hamilton. Hopefully you guys can get to YouTube and sort of check out those 3 plays I talked about. It just shows his abilities in the pass game and in the run game. He's a very special prospect. Just hopefully this video opens your eyes a little bit to the possibility of, taking him at 2. I get the positional value, of an edge and everything like that, but this guy is very special. And want to see how the next few months play out in the combine and how everything goes before the draft process. But just wanted to share my thoughts there on Kyle Hamilton. If you guys got any comments, drop them below. If there's another prospect you want to hear about, please let me know in the comments section. Like I said, there's about 30 plus prospects we're going to review here. So I'll let you know if you drop a comment if we're going to do that later or not. That's about all I have for you guys. Take care. Go Lions.